Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to this Wyatt Sicks video. We got so much to talk about. Not only did we get the match, but we also got a couple of videos and this tweet before the show even started. So I'm sure you've seen this by now. It is basically drawing your attention to the fact that this debut occurred in Baltimore, which is where we would be for Raw tonight, where the Wyatt Sicks would make their in-ring debut. So it's just a way of showing the connection. Both of those dates and Baltimore, life is a circle. That coming from the official Wyatt Sicks account. But there is honestly so much to talk about. You can see all the stuff that's in this folder. All of this we need to go through. So many moments. So many references. So much stuff went down today. So, yeah, we've got a lot of stuff to get our teeth into. So much so that I've actually jotted it down to make sure that I got all the points I wanted to get. So I've got things like the mask, which we're going to talk about. The Man in the Woods, the Rocking Chair, Shatter, Rowan and Gacy, yeah. Upside down in the corner, Joe Gacy, the Bray pose by Howdy, the red circle in the lights at the end, Michael Cole's comments, so much stuff. But we got this. Now, I had a load of people on the live stream wanting me to check this out, and it's always difficult if something drops during a live stream because we do have to battle copyright if we show any footage that is owned by WWE. That is a real quick way of getting the stream taken down. So I felt very confident they would show it during the show, and thankfully so they did. I think it was nice. It was just kind of showing the journey of the Wyatt Sicks, and it kept showing us little glimpses of Bray, of the original Wyatt family, and it was just a really lovely video package. Really lovely video package. But it was the ending that caught my attention, and I'm sure it caught your attention as well. I don't think this is the correct image that we're actually focusing on. These are obviously the images that we got at the end, but these images connect to this image. Now, this image caused a lot of conversation during Nightbird as we were trying to figure out what this was. For me personally, I always looked at this and wondered if it was Joe Gacy. I always got a bit of a Joe Gacy vibe from this. And you can see what turned out to be candles just in front. We never got an answer to this, but thankfully we did today. And the answer that we got was that it was Bo Dallas. I don't know if that's not photoshopped, though. Like, I really don't know if that's not his face being added in afterwards. I'm not too sure, but either way, it is Bo. And you can see the mask as well. This looks to be a Howdy mask that is like jet black. And we have seen that before. So this was the end of that video. That's the image we had in Nightbird. You might remember it. And now we've got it all cleaned up. Shout out to Slam X, though, who is brilliant. I mean, honestly, SlamX, one of the first accounts I go to because they do such a fantastic job of breaking down all of this stuff. And here's an old tweet from SlamX from June 4th, right? This image appears once again. I don't think I've said my piece on this, but I do believe this is probably Bo Taylor sat with a bunch of candles in front of him. And that is exactly what it turned out to be. So a big shout out to SlamX for that. Absolutely killing it. This was the tweet, and it was tweeted out by WWE just before, as we said. Metal Mama as well. Excellent. Doing a great job of breaking these things down. You can see decoding the dates, going from the Roman numerals. So July 8th, 2013, August 5th, 2024, debut of the Wyatt family, debut of the Wyatt Sicks. Not quite their debut, their in-ring debut. The circle completes in Baltimore. So this was the video, and it went for 1 minute 52. And as we said, it was lovely. It was touching. It was everything you would expect from a video package from WWE. But it was the ending that was the big takeaway for me because we actually got to find out what that was. And this is the mask. So, Henry, shout out to you. You can see it's not the sharpest of images. I mean, that really is all we get. But it is seemingly enough to be able to decode that it is this mask that Bray wore in, I think it was the final Firefly Funhouse. So if that is the mask that Howdy is going to wear sometimes, that is a lovely way of continuing Bray's work. The final Firefly Funhouse being continued now, the mask that was wore in that final Firefly Funhouse being wore by Bo, by Uncle Howdy, as we continue Bray's story forward. So, loved it. Yeah. Henry said Bo Dallas is wearing Bray's black Uncle Howdy mask in the newest vignette. I think there was a piece of music as well, which should be in this folder somewhere. Here it is. So Benjamin said this was the song that was in the video. It was called Like a Dream. It had a very similar vibe to Nightbirds. I even wondered if it was not by the same artist. So if you like the music, apparently that was the music that was used. Now, I said SlamX does a fantastic job, and honestly, I'm totally stealing their work here. I'm sure they won't mind. They have provided a lot of stuff in the past, and I really recommend that you follow them. But I like to include this because they do a great job of actually jotting down what was said. So you can see some of the images as well, some of the screenshots. And again, just pointing out these numbers that have been counting down, or seemingly counting down. We have seen these before. So don't know quite if these are going to continue to feature. Sometimes it's just stock footage. Sometimes we don't need to worry about it. But yeah, worth knowing. We get these shots of Gacy, and of course that one was used in the tweet. Humming is heard to the tune of He's Got the Whole World in His Hands. That song was a staple during Bray Wyatt's career. Right, this is what is said then in Uncle Howdy's voice. They thought they could control you. They locked you away, but I saw through their lies. And I really don't know who he's referring to, because that doesn't really apply to Schism, and it doesn't really feel like it applies to NXT. So they, who's they? They thought they could control you. They locked you away. Is there a darkness to Gacy that we've not yet uncovered? Because yeah, that doesn't quite fit anything for me. Oh man, this was huge. Opened your heart to the man in the woods. So I'm sure 99.9% of you know about the man in the woods. I think this is great that they are linking it to that. The Man in the Woods was a ghost story from 2015. There is nothing that really suggests that what he is describing in there is the Fiend, right? It's always been one that's been hotly debated. Is he talking about the Fiend? Is he not talking about the Fiend? The description doesn't quite fit the Fiend. He talks about a character being like 7 foot tall with like really long hair and all this kind of stuff. It's one of those where if you want to believe it was the Fiend, it fits close enough where it works. And if you think it's just a little bit off for me, well, then you don't need to believe it, right? But here, what they've done is they're drawing another link to it. So open your heart to the Man in the Woods. The Man in the Woods has been referred to previously by Bray. It has often been interpreted as the earliest reference to what would become the Fiend. So here, described as being 7 foot tall, having pale skin, yellow eyes, thin yellow hairs. There is a bit more to it than that, though, with some of the descriptions not quite fitting. For me, I've always been on the fence with it. I know it's one that people absolutely believe is absolutely the Fiend. It's up to you to make your own mind up on that. But the fact that they are referencing it here, and the line was, open your heart to the Man in the Woods. It doesn't really matter if it's the Fiend or not, to be honest, because the ghost story goes that it is Bray and Sister Abigail, and Sister Abigail warns Bray about the Man in the Woods. Bray goes out to the woods and he sees the Man in the Woods, and then he goes back to Sister Abigail, and Sister Abigail says, you don't understand, do you? You are the Man in the Woods. So it doesn't really matter if it's the Fiend or not the Fiend at this point. Open your heart to the man in the woods is basically the same way as saying open your heart to Bray Wyatt, right? So love all of that. I mean, that really, man in the woods, boom, struck the ear straight away. Howdy says, and now we'll make them all pay for their sins. We get a look at Joe Gacy, who screams, let us in. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Let us in, obviously a big thing, big part of the past. There is a pig squeal in there as well. And yeah, this is a theory. I'm not sure that I go along with this, but the reference of being locked away could relate to this moment in NXT when Joe Gacy was imprisoned, but I don't know why they would say they. And this was just a feud. You know, it was just a feud, and he was able to come through that feud. This doesn't strike me as being what this is about, but yeah, worth mentioning. So excellent work. So Perry.Knight, I'm going to follow you for that. Perry.Knight, well done, and SlamX, well done as well. Absolutely fantastic work as always. So we got that was the breakdown of the Joe Gacy interview, and it really was very, very well done. Very well done. Not very long. It was only about 50 odd seconds long. Here's Bruno saying, open your heart to the man in the woods. Let you sin. Let us in. And there's a still of Bray from that man in the woods video. There you go, 56 seconds. The whole world in his hands. The man in the woods will never lie. They thought they could control you. So there is the video. Right, so those were the two videos and the tweet that the Wyatt Sicks put out earlier in the day. And then, of course, it was time for the actual match. And we knew that this match was coming. It was the main event. The concern was it going to deliver? And I've got to tell you, the score that our community gave it puts it as one of the highest rated matches of the year. I don't think the in-ring action necessarily warranted that score. I thought the in-ring was fine and some really nice moments, actually. But this, I don't think, was a match that could maybe rival AJ versus Cody, right? It's all the references. It's all the little touches. It's Howdy in the rocking chair on the outside. And there's one thing I've got to mention, which really struck me more than pretty much anything else, right? There is a moment where I think Gacy tags back out and he stands on the edge of the ring. And Rowan puts his hand on the shoulder of Gacy, kind of pats him on the shoulder like, good job, mate. We're doing it. We're doing it. It was just a real, like, well done, my brother type moment where he just pats him on the shoulder. And that just hit me. I don't know why it was that hit me so hard. But I think there was a lot of emotion out there. If it might not have shown all the time, but there was a lot of emotion out there, certainly for Rowan. I mean, don't forget, Rowan is so used to competing with Luke Harper and competing alongside with Bray Wyatt. Now he's out there with a whole new crop of talent, but still carrying on the story of the Wyatt family and carrying on the story and the narrative of Bray Wyatt. I mean, you could imagine him being very emotional. And so we're doing this. We're doing this. And it was just, I saw him do that to Gacy on the outside, and I was like, oh my God. There's some moments I think you expect. I mean, we spoke about, would we get the rocking chair? People wanted Shatter. And there's those kind of things where you're like, yeah, we could get that, we could get that. And then there's some moments like what I've just described that I wasn't expecting, that I think as a result kind of hit me a bit harder. So if you didn't quite catch that moment, I would say go. I'm sure many of you are going to rewatch that match anyway, but I really loved that moment. Fireflies all coming out, as you can see. I mean, it was brilliant. It was done so well. Ghost 4L, shout out to you. Of course, we got the lantern. We got the rocking chair. SlamX said the Wyatt Sicks are using the full version of Shatter as their theme. WWE Ethan said, seeing Bray's rocking chair, it brought a tear to my eye. This is Mika Rotunda. This is Bray's sister and Bo's sister who put out this full version of Shatter, and she just put out this GIF as well, which is absolutely lovely. So obviously, up until this point, they've just been teasing the intro of Shatter, but now we got the full thing. Here's Ghost 4L. Again, this is only 6 seconds long. It's just from the fans. You can see Howdy rocking back and forth. You can also see that mask. This is the mask that's Ramblin' Rabbit. Looks like that gets put onto the chair, but it gets put on backwards so that the Harper side, the Harper mask, can watch the action. It's lovely, isn't it? Not only have you got Bo, Uncle Howdy sat there, but you've got the mask backwards staring off. So there it is. You can see it better there. That is the mask, the big mask of Rowan's, but with Harper looking towards the ring. And here's Dark saying this right here: Bo sitting in Bray's chair tonight. And it was that. I wish I could give you loads of stuff which people hadn't noticed, but to be honest, I think a lot of this stuff, you was meant to notice it. You was meant to see it. And the rocking chair, absolutely brilliant. And the mask facing out, absolutely brilliant. So there was the pig mask just kind of thrown to the side, which was a bit of a shame, to be honest. Just kind of chucked over to the side. I don't know what happened to the Mercy mask. I would imagine that's probably this side. You know, if Huskus's mask is there, I'm guessing that Mercy's mask is just sort of down here. And we know that Rowan's mask is on the chair. There is Abby, and she was referred to as Abby, right? That was a big talking point. The fact that Michael Cole had referred to her as Sister Abigail. People said that had then been edited out, I think, last week. From the clip, and it didn't fit to me. I mean, that didn't make sense to me, why she would be referred to as Sister Abigail. Well, now he's referring to her as Abby the Witch, so clearly a bit of confusion, and that's been tidied up now. So TJF 1983, love that. And you've changed your profile picture as well to the laughing Uncle Howdy. And we've got to say how much better Howdy looks now compared to the first time we saw him back in like 2022. It's just a different person now. He looks so much better now. He looks so good. And I loved him smiling and laughing. And I think I know that this is quite somber in places because of it being connected to Bray, but seeing his brother enjoying this moment should give everyone a lift, you know? Should give everyone a lift. I know there's a lot of darkness here, but there is a lot of light as well. So Jenna, thank you. EST Firefly Forever 12 Sexy. Thank you, my friend. Yeah, this was cool. This was really cool. So there he went into the corner, upside down, obviously channeling Bray. We saw Bray do this many times. Maybe not quite like that. This is like a bit of a variation, but yeah, very cool. Very cool by Gacy. BWA Matt said Joe Gacy is creepy as flip. This was good as well. Slamex again pointing out the yeah. So that big reference to Luke Harper, of course, and we've heard that before, and we would hear it again at the end when we had Howdy down on his knees. This by Dysfunctional Wrestling. Dysfunctional Wrestling was the first I saw mention this. And you can see this circle, this red circle right above their heads. So good. I did not notice, but love that. And I've got to think it extended all the way around. So the fact they're in the ring with that red circle around them, so good. So good. Now, I have not seen this, to be honest. So there we've got them in the ring embracing. This is Wyatt Sicks after it came off air. And there they are pointing up. Look at that. Those two in particular, the others embracing, but those two of Bo and Rowan sharing that moment, pointing up. I got tagged in this so many times. This really, look at that. Those two in particular embracing and then pointing up at the heavens. That was for you. That was for you. For both of you. For all of you. Oh, mate. Mates. So yeah. So I can't guarantee you that Bray Wyatt is looking down proud at what was accomplished tonight. I think that was, I can guarantee you. Bray would be looking down. Very pleased by what we got there. Very, very pleased. So just a few highlights and all of that. So amazing. And then look at this. Rob Fee said, couldn't be prouder. Check this out. World of Wrestling tweeting that he couldn't be prouder and we couldn't be happier as a community. Thank you for everything you've given us, Wyatt Sicks. You made strangers feel like family. Just brilliant. Just absolutely brilliant. And then we got this as well as they were heading to the back. Again, this is after Raw has come off air. That is them heading to the back. The lantern leading the way. This is Tim Jr. 30 on Instagram. Wrestle Night. Thank you. So, again, not much to it, but it's just lovely to see some things that you wouldn't normally get chance to see. And that is them heading to the back. Fade Away Media 2013 and 2024. So there, look, with Bray. Look at this. I mean, look at Rowan being right behind. And there is Bray with his arms out. There is Bo with his arms out. It's just lovely, isn't it? Wanted to give a shout out to American Made. I thought this gear looked absolutely bang on. That is a proper team in it. I don't mind American Made. I really don't. I think that's a great name, actually. I really don't mind American Made. So, but I love this gear. The gear was awesome. The entrance was great. I think the name is fine. We've had American Alpha. That was Chad with Jason Jordan. Now we've got American Made. Again, look, just some stills of them kind of pointing up to the heavens. Beautiful, said Ghostface. The Wyatt Sicks had a moment after Raw went off air. Thank you, Bray. And again, that was that Wyatt Sicks one. So there we go. I mean, was there more than that? There may have been. Honestly, there were so many references. There was so much stuff. But that was everything that I kind of gathered together. It was touching. It was beautiful. I thought the match itself really delivered. And I know that you lot did as well. I mean, it got an all-time 50%. It's one of the highest rated matches of the year from our community. But of course it would be, because we love the Wyatt Sicks. We love Nightbird. We love Bray. We love this journey. I will be interested to know what the wider wrestling fan base thought about it. Those that maybe aren't quite as on board with Wyatt Sicks, did they enjoy it as well? I'll be very interested to find that answer out. But listen, at the end of the day, I think they did everything they could. I think this absolutely smashed it. The crowds were fantastic. Loads of chants. I think there was like "Let's go Wyatt" chants. There was definitely "This is awesome" chants. "You suck" chants in the direction of American Made as well. Just the crowd were fantastic. It really did have that kind of Raw after WrestleMania feel. It really did. It was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. So I hope you enjoyed it as well. And onwards we go. What is next? Are they done with American Made? Will there be more there, or do we turn our attention maybe to Judgment Day? I don't think we can rule out Judgment Day being future targets. And who knows, maybe it'll be revealed that that graffiti was not Liv, and it was the Wyatt Sicks all along. They trashed the clubhouse and maybe now move on to the Judgment Day. Or maybe we continue our feud with American Made. A lot of people want to see Uncle Howdy and Chad Gable go at it. Maybe we get that at Bash in Berlin. So, don't know. Lots of things that we can do. Lots of directions that we can go. But all I know is this absolutely smashed it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.